we had 3 or 4 inquiries from different brokers in the market who had been approached to insure some nickel wire, and this stuff was purportedly worth $300 a meter. So when you weighed up some of this stuff, and people had like 6 million meters of this stuff, so you did the maths and you were soon running it. You're like, hang on a minute, so this stuff's like worth $1 billion plus. And immediately the red flags come up, because if nickel wire was worth that much, then we'd all be investing in nickel wire. Nickel wire would be on the markets. Why haven't we heard of this? And so some quick research goes, I couldn't Google search. We've got the time. That's our job. We do that kind of thing. And I was getting anywhere between $6 and $10 a meter, not $300 a meter. And so again, it was just, and the moral of all these stories pretty much that I'm going to tell is that if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. And what usually happens is in all these cases that, typical fraud, it's time pressure, it's urgent, it's got to be done. And that's not from the broker side. They're getting pushed by their clients. I understand that. And as soon as, what we usually say is, okay, fine. We'll go and look at it. You pay us $20,000 as an advance fee. That has to clear our account, and then we'll come and look at it. And that usually gets rid of most of them. I'll have been with Lowers for 4 years come next March, and at least once, usually twice a year, we will see the inquiry for rubies in some shape or form. And they again vary. That we've had some that they're usually in the hundreds of millions, 125 million, 130 million, 500 million, right up to the, we've seen you should please can you do an appraisal for anywhere between 500 million and 2.5 billion. So first time this came past my desk, again, when I was on the broking side, I used to look after the world's largest producer of rubies. So if you're talking that, even let's go on the low end, that you've got $125 million worth of rubies, the usual quarterly sale for all the rubies that are expected that are taken out that mainly come from Mozambique is somewhere between $40 and $50 million. So you're already surpassing the number of rubies that come out. And then we've had fantastic pictures of these giant rubies, this big, and they may come with a GIA certificate. Whether that's real or fraudulent, I don't know, but they don't have any kind of valuation on. So it'll be, right, this stone is worth $250 million. Well, the highest value ruby ever sold at the auction back in 2015 was $30 million. So you've either got something that is far surpasses the auction price at Sotheby's in Geneva for a ruby, again, that no one's heard of, that we've never seen these. I mean, they may have just been discovered or been found. It's just like, right. So I now have, and I've shared it with my colleague Dan Coots, we have our little cheat sheet that shows the highest value rubies, the production, just so that when we get these inquiries through, we've got a very off-pat response that says, hey, this could be legitimate, but previous experience tells us these are the prices for the rubies. This is how much rubies you get out of the ground every quarter. You've either got the world's supply that you've bottled up for 4 years, or someone's stringing you along. So this was a good one. And this kind of applies to all of the examples we've talked about, because in this modern day and age, you will get presented with a very nice packet with documentation, certificates, expert testimony, reams and reams, 40, 50, 60 pages of all official looking documentation. So people put a lot of effort into this. So this was meant to be 5 billion of platinum concentrate. And what's most interesting about this one is that we actually got as far as going out and visiting and seeing these sackfuls of, really, which was earth, that was said to contain, if you went through a proper process, and again in the 60-page document, very detailed scientific process of how you were going to extract the platinum. There was platinum, some silver, gold out of this stuff through a very sort of technical process that would generate this, I don't know, I'm going to call it stuff, but this concentrate at the end of the day that was then going to be worth a significant sum of money. So we went through it, and one of our surveyors, Brad Moody, who's on a lot of our content here, Brad went out and looked at this, and the stuff was there. The warehouse was fine. It was nowhere near a security specification required if this stuff was worth anywhere near what it was. But where this all came tumbling down is that we'd seen it. We'd seen Brad's got pictures of these sacks and sacks of this earth, and it's right. Okay, well now we need to start sampling this stuff. Okay, we'll choose the sample. Okay, and you can't see where that sample comes from. No, that's not going to work. We need to sample. And again, so it got a long way down the track before it just all came tumbling down. In the previous examples, it really doesn't get that far down the ground, far off the ground, because we're just like, it's not real. These values are ridiculous. It's not going to happen. Really get rid of it. And they disappear because obviously the people behind it are a criminal element. So they're not going to want to put their heads too far above the parapet. People are trying to commit a fraud. You start asking questions and these people disappear. It's like, okay, that door didn't open. We'll go and knock on the next one until we can get through.